Right, hello. We should be live. So if you're here, drop your comments down below. I see we've got someone already. Drop your comments down below. I'll just put that in right now. And if you are live, I'm going to see if I can get is the Facebook working? Ooh, copy, edit. I might have to just change some destinations. The wonderful thing about streaming to, what do we call it? The wonderful thing about streaming to Facebook groups is it's an absolute nightmare. So thank you, Facebook, for being so amazing. I'll see updating everything. Cool. So is that working now? Did that come through? Save changes. Right, if you're live, drop your comments down below. Obviously, I'm here to help you out. I'm here to support you. This will be the last time I go live, probably for like at least a month, because I'm going back to the UK to see my family today, and I'm also going to be at an event as well. So let me know if you can see me. Let me know down below, and obviously I'll answer them. A couple of things to touch base on today. We've got 1 second. Can I do that? Remove, and then can I get remove? I'm just trying to remove something. Remove, and then can I add something in? Add destination, that one. Save changes. Cool. Are we live? See if it's coming through. If you're here, drop a comment down below and let me know. But I'm also as well. One thing that you see in the UK right now, I just do go live. Wow, cool. One thing we've seen in the UK is that you now have to get insurance with the UK, which is like really interesting. So 2 seconds. I just want to check if I am actually live. If I am, obviously, yeah, it says I'm live. Great. Turn that off. I'm here. Well, hey, I'm here. You can see me. So drop your comments down below. That is me. So a couple of people said, hey. Well, it's coming through. Great, cool. We've got you. Ifran, I saw your question earlier. I will answer that in a second. Okay. I hope I said that right. Hey, Holly says, have you ever thought of doing private label? Holly, I'll come back to that one in a second. So Ifran mentioned a question earlier on. And I'll say I do have one which I just want to copy quickly from the Facebook group, because a lot of questions come in like in the Facebook group. So question here is, hi, my name is Ifran. Okay, so my question is, I have an LLC in California, but I have a prep center in New Jersey. So will this affect orders at retail stores because of the billing and prepping address? Okay, so there's quite a lot. There's a couple of things to consider. One, yes, your billing and shipping address are different. So that is very likely to cause you problems. Not always, but very likely. Probably like 50% of your orders may get cancelled. But you've got to call the supplier and find out why. So that's an important part. And so that's a really important point. So once you've done that one, I would then say, but it shouldn't have an effect on like everything's done on your shipping address, which would be the prep center. So obviously if you're doing like shoes into New Jersey, you're going to be fine. Hey, drop your questions down below. So you should be like shoes, but the only thing you're going to have is shipping and billing address different. But also, so if you're doing like, make sure you put your prep center into your Amazon Seller Central account as a shipping address. Why? Because if you ever have to give like product authenticity or invoices for ungating, that address needs to be on your account for a return address. That's really important. So just be mindful of that. That's going to be really good. Ifran, let me know if that answered your question down below. Holly mentioned, have you ever thought about doing private label ever? Yeah, lots of times I've thought about it. I think one bit of advice I can offer anyone who's thinking about selling on Amazon is everyone kind of starts off going, oh, I'll do a bit of RA. Oh, wow, this is working. I'll do a bit of OA. Cool. Then I'll do some wholesale. Then I'll do private label. And like what you got to realize is that you could just like, I know people doing OA to 10 million. I know people doing wholesale to maybe 250 million. And then private label, like over 8 figures. So each one of these business models can be grown very big. And every time you change business model, it's just more work, more learning you've got to do, which takes time. So I've always just said, look, I don't want to do it because I think it takes too much time to transition to the new business. But there's no problem if, for example, if you're doing wholesale, and the way I think about it is like you do OA, you find some good products, you then go to wholesalers, buy the same products but now in wholesale. That's fine. And maybe you're in wholesale and you notice that there's a certain category you're in whereby one guy's just absolutely killing it, some brand, and they're really rubbish listings and everything else. And then you might go, hey, I might create a private label product and then partner with someone. I think my internet's playing up. Partner with someone in the private label space, and then they can help create it as well. So they know how to launch it and do it all. That can be a really good one. A really good example recently I've seen Do you know like when you make coffee, you put like the granules in the thing? I saw someone like had one of them, and they're selling like 600 units a month, and they're going for like $30. I was like, damn, this thing's like amazing. So I should have done that. But wholesale, I'm really happy with. So and again, if something's working, keep doing it. And again, the bigger you get, the more opportunities you have, and your actually answer's got to be do less. That's the important point. So I hope that makes sense. Saad said, yes, hey, good to see you. So Ifran, I have a question. Cool. Ifran, my client, you're saying my client is LLC and you use prep center. So if I order ship to Texas, the tax will apply. Yeah, if you ship to, if the prep center, basically 99% of the time, it'll be your ship to address, which will be the tax. So you'll pay Texas sales tax. So I hope that makes sense. Jesse says, good evening, Tom. So, hey, Jesse, how are you? This is going to be my last live for about a month. So make sure you get your questions in, guys, because I'm going back to the UK to see my family. It's been a year. So honestly, drop your questions in. I'm just going to drink some coffee, which actually isn't very nice at all. Ugh, that's right. It's been sat there for a few hours. Definitely very cold. Right, cool. So one other thing which we've seen today is, well, not seen today, seen recently, if you're in the UK, you're going to start needing to get insurance. So I think someone mentioned it earlier in the group. Where do you get it from? When we've done insurance in the UK, we've used a company called Blackfriars, if anyone wants to know. So Blackfriars, they're like an insurance agent. They can get it for you, which actually was quite useful. I don't know why we had to get it. We had to get it for some reason. Yeah, I think it's because we did another business, like that business in the UK when we were trading, then had to do some other projects which needed insurance. We had to show the certificates. So that was it. Blackfriars was really, really good. Holly says, where are you from in the UK? So if you want to know, I'm from Southampton. But my travel plans to the UK, I fly back today. I land tomorrow, so Tuesday. And then I'll be in Southampton until probably next Thursday when I start driving up towards Scunthorpe. And then I'm at the Systemize, Summit. So there's going to be about 150 people there. The tickets are sold out. Myself, Gavin, Sweeney, and Ahmed are going to be there as well. So looking forward to that. Going to give a presentation, share some real insights into how we manage businesses and what I've seen from 850 VAs being placed. So I'll support them. If there's anything you guys want me to like take away, ask, do, share in that, let me know. And then I'll probably... I also need to get a new passport and I need to get a new visa as well. So it's like, So Coloris, I hope I said that right, since it's like Coloris. Are you currently working with any loans, Tom? Not like in the typical sense. So what do we talk about? So we've approached lenders such as, who have we done? Figure Eight. There's quite a few of the US ones. I've forgotten them. I've actually done like, oh my god, I can picture their logo, but I can't picture their name. We did it probably 3 months ago. We approached a lot of those lenders and went through. Some of them said yes, some of them said no because of like corporate structure. But what we decided to do was to do internal company loans instead. So I'm basically just working off capital within the existing company, which is quite nice. So if anything gets kind of, she said, if we get any problems, I won't lie, I do have credit cards and obviously we're using them. So I probably have like, I think 30,000 in credit card, like available, if that makes sense. And sometimes we'll just kind of draw the cash down. So I'll use that rather than loans, but no Pacific loans at the moment. But you can definitely do it. It works. Just make sure your margins are high enough. That's the important thing. I've done so many videos about Amazon loans. You know, the biggest loan we ever got was £360,000. So like 400,000 US in one go. And I know a lot about them. So if you've got any questions, let me know. Calaris, let me know if you're thinking about loans and obviously what your worries are and concerns about them, or if I'm guessing you're thinking about scaling. So if you're specifically thinking about like how to scale, then with loans or how to do it, let me know and I'll answer that. But drop your question down below. I can do it. So Jesse says, you'll enjoy the UK's nowadays, Tom. It's summer finally. Woohoo! And I hope it will last more than a month. I'm used to 2 weeks. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Also, I think global warming is having an effect. Right now, Mexico City is like super hot. And obviously, if anyone's got VAs, Philippines right now has got excessive heat, extreme heat. We're talking 35 degrees C, 80% humidity. It's crazy right now, so just be mindful. So looking forward to it, Jesse. Yeah. So when you're doing arbitrage, so you brought a virtual address to the LLC or physical address. I'm a bit confused about registered agents. What does that mean? Can you go through? Okay, so like, there's a couple of things to consider. When you're doing like US businesses, there are kind of 3 addresses you've got to be mindful of. One is called your registered agent's address. So this is the agent who registered your company, LLC. They have an address, and they'll generally use that address to start the initial creation of the company. So a lot of your filings will have that information. Number 2, you'll have your registered address. Physical it's like a virtual office. So that will be another address. Now, if you don't have a virtual office and you have a physical like warehouse or office, then it'll be that, of course. And then the other address you have is a prep center. So they're it. Now, you generally don't buy a physical address unless you really need to, because the cost, unless you're there. Like, there's no point buying an office if you'll never be there. But virtual addresses generally work quite well. So that's what I mean. So Sad said, in the UK market, everything is getting tanked in the aerospace. So honestly, I will just say this right. I'm going to say this right now before I even kind of reading. I have heard this, I think, for 3 years now. Like, I really have, honestly. And there's 2 options I would strongly recommend. One, you've got to buy with more, like a bigger moat around your products. So just take every single product that's tanked, right mouse click, search it. And if you can find that product on Google, that's probably why it's tanked. But if you can't, then that'll be the one that hasn't tanked. Number 2, the USA is a bigger marketplace. It's 11 times bigger than the UK. There's so much more opportunity. That's why we've done it. And agreed. And your problem is, and by the way, you stated it here. So you say, in the UK market, everything is getting tanked in the OA space. It's getting saturated. Is it getting saturated, or a new wave of sellers coming in which take the natural course to settle? It's not like a new wave. It's like new people come in all the time, then they go out, and your people come in. And I don't know if you've ever seen like adoption curves. So you get like the first 3% of the early adopters, then you get like the 10, and then you get the 25 and 50. It's kind of like a curve that goes like that. I don't know where we are at all on the curve, but what I could say is that I don't think it's going to slow down at all. Like, and the reason why I don't think it's going to slow down, why, is because if you look at a lot of Facebook communities, groups, they're growing really fast. I interviewed recently Des, who does £200 to 100,000. If you look at his group, he has grown from probably like 1,000 people to 6,000 people in 3 months, which is incredible. And a lot of it is new people who've probably got £1,000 to £2,000 to spend, credit card maybe to spend, and they're buying all the products that you're finding as well. So your problem comes is that there's more competition coming in, and B, the products you're finding are too easy to find. You need to create a moat that all these new people just can't do. VAT also causes big problems in the UK, especially if you're doing OA. By the way, I did 3.4 million in it. I know the problems. I've been there. VAT causes a problem because technically you pay an 8% premium on your product, or 8% on your revenue, and so therefore you're less competitive versus a non-VAT registered person, and so therefore new sellers are going to beat you. So I hope that makes sense. I don't want to go too much on about that, but it's a good question, and you just got to either get better at sourcing so other people can't find it, or change marketplaces. Because in the US, they don't have that VAT problem, if that makes sense. So John, hey Tom, I've just found out that Amazon are not meant to charge you VAT, but they do. So please let your followers know, send an email to make them VAT exempt. Yeah, we talk about it. And by the way, we talk about it in the top seller program. There's like, it's been around for like, okay. Let's just be clear. We need to be really clear here, because the way it works is Amazon, you can basically get the VAT taken off your purchases if you are not VAT registered. So you're going to save about 3%, which is quite useful, by the way. So it even removes the advantage of being VAT registered. So we show you how to do it in the top seller program. By the way, there's an offer on today. If you're just interested in checking it out, fasttrackfba.com. It's live this week. You get 3 months of free leads with our top seller program. It's like amazing. But we show you how to do this as well. Get the VAT back. So definitely there are free guides around. You've got to ask for them. Like, they're not kind of like given out, because it's not the easiest process, but it's like a letter you send to Amazon. You do it a couple of times. You've got to show that you're a business in the UK, and then they will basically stop charging you VAT, and you can even refund the fees. So people have gotten thousands back. So I think that's really, really important. So it's not that Amazon are not meant to. They can charge you. They don't have to. You can get it taken off. It gets really complex, but at the end of the day, you can take it off. You can save about 3% on your 3% extra profits. And by the way, when Amazon puts their prices up by 3%, it's really nice to have an extra 3% come back. So yeah, do it. Check it out. Jesse says, quick question with the VAT registration. When you've had your UK account, how long did you inform the seller account that you were VAT registered? And is there a new verification again? Okay, 1 second. Just drinking some really awful coffee. Oh, this is like bad. How long did you inform the seller account? So I'm guessing you're guessing how long do you form? So when you go VAT registered, you tell Amazon you're VAT registered. Fantastic. And then also as well, whether in the US or in the UK, you get what's known as re-verification. And I think they're around like trigger points or velocity limits. So if you go sell too fast, or if you hit certain revenue goals within a 12-month period, they'll probably re-verify you again. So I think we had like 4 times because we did just go really high. The first one's the most challenging because after that, everything's pretty much the same and they verify you again really quickly. And by the way, when they say verify, what do I mean? They don't really tell you. They literally just send you an email saying, we're verifying your account. In the meantime, you don't need to do anything. You're like, what? I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't ask. Like, why are you telling me this? You get that email. And what I found is that when they send that email to you, you couldn't disperse. So I was like, oh, we had 4 weeks we couldn't disperse. So that was quite scary, but you don't have to tell them. Once you've gone VAT registered, you put the VAT number in and that's it. And then they'll just do the verification to go through. So the first one's the most like, after that, it was fine. No problem. I kept getting emails and then I was like, whatever. So next one. Sad, your views on the OA space in the UK. Recently, a lot of products are getting tanked. Yeah, I think I've said this one. Yeah, it's, by the way, like, I've talked about this a few times on live. I've never done a video. I think like I will do one day. If you're doing OA, standard OA, whereby you are just buying from retail and you have no competitive advantage other than trying to find the next product in the UK and you're VAT registered, I think it's a dead space. Like, I don't think you're going to make money, period. I literally had a conversation with someone today. They did 74,000. They made 15,000 in profit. And I was like, how much money did you make last year? And they were like, nothing. And I was like, what? And they're like, because I started in the USA this year. They made that money. Whereas in the US, in the UK, they weren't making the money. They were VAT registered. I just don't think it works. Like, I really don't. And by the way, it's all business models, all marketplaces will eventually, they will eventually have all the good opportunity starts diminishing down and down and down. So right now in the UK, it's actually quite good to start. Cost of starting up is really low. You can buy stuff really easy, just in your personal name, credit cards are easy. It works. You don't like to create an Amazon business in the UK is super simple. But once you hit with VAT registration, oh my God, it becomes really challenging. So therefore, and I've seen it, I just don't think if you can get 20 grand, I know it's a lot of cash, but like really drive your margins higher under VAT registration. But if you can get 20 grand, go start in the US. I just think it's so much better. Like, it's so much better. I just don't think I don't think OA in the UK after VAT registration is where you want to be. And like a lot of people who I talk to who join like my high level mastermind, they're like, what am I doing? I'm like, I would strongly recommend just go to the US. It's going to be a pain, but you've got to do that pain at some point. So why not do it now? And there's still a lot of opportunity. So that's the thing. You've got to have a competitive moat. And your problem is that when you're VAT registered, you have a disadvantage against new sellers who are just copying your storefront, which is like a pain. Hope that makes sad. Let me know your thoughts down below. But I know I'm going on about it. Michael says, does Amazon care if you change your address on file? I just got a new business address and I want to avoid deactivation problems and changing your address. Before you change it, make sure you've got the right documentation. So bank statements, preferably like 2 or 3 forms of like ID or like business information, which has got the new address on it. And I mean, it has to be all 3 of them, or 2 of them have to be perfect. So preferably like a letter from the government, a bank statement with the new address on it, and maybe like a utility bill or something else, just in case they reject one, then you've got another thing. So make sure you do that before you change it. You're going to have to change it at some point, but just make sure you've got all the information before you change it. Otherwise, you're right. They're going to go through re-verification, which means you can't disperse during that period. So get your bank statements, get as much documentation as you can. You might obviously you're supposed to tell them straight away, but if you waited like a month or 2, maybe 3, and had 3 bank statements from historical, that could work. But it's got to be different forms of ID as well. Preferably a letter from the government is going to be so helpful. And then also as well, before you change it, just disperse all the money out and just get rid of it, and then change the thing and be like, okay, ready for like squeaky bum time. Like it's gonna be like, ooh, you'll probably be fine because you prepared rather than just done it now and be like, damn, I don't actually have bank statements yet. I've got to wait 20 days for the next statement. That's what I'm saying. So hope that makes sense, Michael. Colorus, I hope I'm saying that right, by the way. Regarding the loan, I'm having cash flow issues, so I need additional capital, but I'm concerned regarding making large monthly payments. So if something would happen to my Amazon account. Yeah, you're right. You need a couple of things. Okay, let's just talk about loans quickly. Ideally, you don't want loans. You want what's known as lines of credit. They are the way you really want to be building this business. Loans don't work. Loans work really well for private label. Get a big lump sum of cash, go buy some stuff in China, ship it over to the US, and then start paying it down as the sales come in. Works brilliantly. For us, we don't have massive lump sum of products we want to buy today and then slowly pay it down. Like, no, we keep buying products and slowly ramp up. So lines of credit are where you want to be. Even if you can get a line of credit with a higher interest rate, take it. It's probably where you want to be. Number two is the fact that cash flow, check out my videos on cash flow. Like, we have a really good sheet we use. It really helps you out step by step. It has 4 sections to it. I've used it in all my businesses now. We've done Amazon loans, supplier credit, wholesale credit. We've done, I think at the most we had £350,000 of credit card debt using this sheet. Then we had 360,000 of Amazon loans being repaid, and we were doing like 300,000 in revenue per month on Amazon at the same time. Like, we had so much credit and debt on it, like, it is insane. So the cash flow sheet works, and we use it even in Fast Track FBA. I love it so much. And you're right about your account. So 2 things you got to realize about your account. 1, we use Seller Basics. Seller Basics I really like, $99 per month. That's kind of like insurance, that if you're going to get, if you've got a problem, their lawyers are going to help you write the right IP letters, and then you're going to, get your account back or like remove the IP complaints. So we use that, $99 per month. It's not going to solve you if you start buying fake goods, but it will, obviously, if you made a small mistake, they'll kind of help you out. So, which is great. And also gives you a bit of peace of mind. Number 2, obviously, don't buy fake goods, don't buy bad products, have good processes, high standards. And then I think finally, number 3 is the fact that just make sure all the lines of credit you're using are related to the business and they have no personal guarantees, because in the event your account does get suspended and things happen and they can't come after your house while you're waiting for the money. So that's one thing I'd say. Hope that makes sense, Claris. Let me know in the comments down below. I feel like a talk show host. Woohoo! Down below. Right, let's go. Joseph, Jokinik. I'm really sorry. Me and names are just like really bad. So I'm so sorry. Hi, my name is Val. No, it's not. I've just tried pronouncing it. But you're from France, so honestly, good to see you, Val. Great for joining, and thank you for the question. Sorry if I completely butchered your name. Right, let's go through. I started retail arbitrage in the USA, and it gets a bit difficult. I'm guessing online arbitrage, because sometimes my credit card from France is being refused from suppliers and purchasing. Agreed. Really, really agreed. 1 second. So what you're going to probably find, I think only about a third of the suppliers you'll be able to put orders through, and then a lot of time it'll get cancelled. So you're asking, like, what can you do is the real question. So the one thing I say to everyone in this problem, you've got to get on the phone and call the supplier, like the retail website. Hi, you cancelled my order. Can you tell me why, please? Because it could be a range of factors, such as foreign card, different billing and shipping address. Maybe you've been detected as fraudulent. Maybe they're just not sure. Like, so many reasons that I'd be here forever and you'd be trying to guess. So just get on the phone, give them a call. Number 2, you've got to build a list of suppliers you can get orders through. That's really important, because once you've realized what suppliers work, you can then actually start going back to them and sourcing. The last thing you want to do is go spend a day sourcing from a website, place the order, and then it doesn't work. So, they cancel. So that's a really important point. But generally, it's going to be different shipping and billing address, or which is the most common one. Or second one is the fact that you can't even actually put the card in there because they don't have the option for outside the USA. So therefore, when you're trying to put in the billing address as France, like, you can't. So if you hack it, you're still getting it wrong. So I hope that makes sense. But good to meet you, Val. Right, sad. Sorry for the duplicate question. Don't worry, absolutely fine. I repeat myself over and over again. SF95 super. If Amazon ban your seller account, it's banned also your customer account to buy with Prime. Yeah, so long story short, whenever you create an Amazon selling account, you have to create a customer account. And it's really stupid, because if your customer account gets banned, then you can't actually log into your seller account, which is stupid, even though your seller account's allowed. So one thing you should always do is make sure that if you're buying product to, not resell, but just for your personal life, do not use your buying account of the one link to your selling account. So I don't have like 4. Yeah, I have 4 selling accounts. So like literally just create another customer account, completely different email address. It's fine. It's absolutely fine, but just don't have the same as your business email, because therefore, if your business, that gets thing, you've got a big problem, and people have had this problem. So that kind of hope that makes sense. Guys, drop your comments down below, questions. I'm here to answer them. This will be my last time for a month. I know, I've been pretty good. Last time for a month. Super. Let me know down below if that answers your question. Val, here we go. Val, I think I've already answered that one. So coming back to what Sad said, sorry for the duplicate question. I'm not going to duplicate the answer. So that makes sense. Sad said, thanks a lot. On the same page with what you think. Good place to start and make some money. Keep yourself within threshold and move either towards wholesale, P&L, or change marketplace. Yeah, so if we're just talking, by the way, this is as applicable as it is to the USA or any marketplace as it is to the UK. It's especially relevant in the UK because of how VAT distorts the profitability of Amazon sellers. So at a fundamental level, when you go VAT registered in the UK, you need to change the way you are doing the business. You cannot continue doing that, just finding products, right mouth, Google this, do it, right mouth, storefront stalking, won't work, because they're going to get it out, they're going to be able to sell it cheaper than you can, so therefore they'll make more money than you, and so you're just going to lose out all the time. So what do we mean specifically? And let's be really crystal clear. I'll give you some tactical advice here that I think will help. Number one, when you find products, just do a really simple, just imagine you are now selling this product and someone comes to your storefront and they search the Amazon name onto Google. Can they find your supplier? Because if they can find your supplier, you know that you're probably not going to be able to reorder that product, because if you did, by the time you come to reorder it, the prices have crashed because everyone else has already storefront stalked you and they've done it. Number two, when you source that product, are you looking at it is it from a website whereby at the top of the website it says 20% off with this voucher code? Because if it is, then everyone else is going to get it. So it's not good. Now you might be asking, that's what you can't do. What can you do? So you need to be looking for products whereby no one else can, they're really hard to find. For example, the website doesn't show up on Google, or the voucher code that you're using doesn't show up, or it doesn't show up in Honey or Cooper or whatever it is, the new ones. They don't show up in these. So therefore it's a lot harder to find. Or you're using some kind of voucher code or cashback with an Amex credit card that no one else uses normally. So it's 10% off rather than normal. So all these things are slightly different that people don't really realize. Or you've actually just called them up and said, hey, can I speak to your wholesale department? And they will give you wholesale pricing for bulk purchasing. And I know there's a lot, ironically, sometimes I've actually seen it on, I was doing some training the other day. A UK supplier was literally oh, buy this product here. And then it had just down the left, it was if you want wholesale pricing, please get in contact with us. We offer I think it's a percentage discount off for any order over this. I was they're just advertising that you can do wholesale through them. Absolutely love that. So more and more retailers are saying, we will allow you to bulk purchase through us, which I think is incredible. But that means that other OA sellers won't find it. So therefore you can get better pricing, and that's going to help you out. Also, you can look at going into wholesale directly, for example. That's another way, or even just changing marketplace. But you've got to be the products you find cannot be as easy to find as everyone else. And the reason why you see all these people on the internet saying, "Oh, it's kind of easy now. I'm doing a couple of million a year, and I know what I'm doing." Why? Because they just know what works. They know all the sales that are coming in. They know the coupon codes. They know how to stack it all. They know how to get through the checkouts that you don't. And if you're in the UK right now, and you're trying to buy through Boots, you've generally the moment you just look at the Boots website, you get an email saying order cancelled. You're I haven't even ordered. But that's the kind of thing. But they're oh, but we know how to get it through. Or we have the staff discount. Maybe they're using NUS discount, all these different things. But because you're not doing that, you are paying full price, they're not. And so therefore, they are still making money when you're not. So I hope that makes sense. Right, Tom needs to put his watch back on. So, Sad, let me know if that answers helps you down below. And guys, drop your questions. This is my last one. I've got about 15 minutes left. And then I will be running off to do some administration, followed by something else. Followed by flying out tonight, which is quite nice. I'm playing the points game. I get to fly first class. So, woohoo! Flying international when you go first class is actually quite nice. So I would definitely say that. And if you haven't done it, you should definitely try it. And I'll tell you one thing. To fly business class, actually from Mexico back to the UK, was £200 and 90,000 points. But to fly first is £350 and 85,000 points. So less points, a little bit, £100 more often, more cash. And I was like, that's a no-brainer. Why would you fly business? So let me know if you would fly business or first at those rates. I hope that makes sense. So Jay says, do you have any tutorials on how to set up Amazon FBA USA for UK sellers? Yeah, I actually have an entire course that goes through everything we've done on the way to do it. So go to fasttrackfba.com, go to up top right, courses, and you can literally just go, there's a course called Getting Started on the USA as a Non-Resident. So I talk you through that, and I share all the information on how, like, prep centers, accountants, setting up a corporate entity in the US, who to use, what agents, sales tax, what you need to know about that. We have 4 recommended agents we talk about. What else? Like tax structures, what you need to know, like kind of everything. And then also like supplier lists and stuff to get you going. So the process of like finding products and selling them is just exactly the same as in the UK, but how to do like the technical side, which is like the corporate setup and the prep centers and where to go, that is all explained in that course. And by the way, it's like $97. It's like nothing. So that's like £80, maybe. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, hopeful. Jay, let me know if that answers your question down below. And guys, drop your questions, honestly. Khan says, is there a good way to find vouchers? Yeah, you've got to do the hard work. I promise you. Like, you've got things like Cooper and Honey, for example, fantastic. But I would honestly, like, we use the USS, and in the USS, every time we use a voucher, we save it. So I would literally just go to your vouchers in the past and just try them again. Like, are they still working? Or maybe something going on. You could do things like welcome 10, welcome 15, welcome 20. Do they work? These little things make a really big difference. So definitely check them out. But you've got to just do the research. And by the way, be grateful that it's hard and it's not easy, because if it was easy, everyone else would be doing it and the voucher code would be worth nothing, which is like Honey, for example. Like everyone does it, so it's great. But if it's hard, no one else finds it, then now you've got an edge over everyone else. And the one thing which I'll say, especially in the US, we did it like crazy. Every time I'd analyze the deal, I'd literally, because I used to hate my staff for it, I'd just be like, what's the price you've got? And I'd see the price there. So it's exactly the same. And then I'd literally just go, scroll down, look at the bottom of the thing, and it says, get a discount with our newsletter, or get 10% off when you sign up for a newsletter. I was like, you couldn't be bothered to scroll down to check that. Like, so especially in the US, it's huge. You get a discount on your first order. So I think that's really, really important. Like, just signing up for their newsletters, being available. These things help you find voucher codes. And you can just create multiple accounts and look at like if you want me to talk about multiple email addresses on the same Gmail, I can do that as well. There's loads of different ways. But also getting through checkouts is the big one. So Sad said, super helpful. Have a wonderful trip. I hope Hampton has more sun than London. It's Southampton, so just on the south coast. So it's pretty much exactly the same. There's only an hour difference. But London's pretty cool. I'll be up in London Thursday. I need to go. I'm getting my new passport, and I'm going for lunch with my accountants. So that'd be really good. We've used them for, I think, don't quote me, 7 years. So really, really good. One thing I'll say just about accountants, I learned this very, very like years and years and years and years and years ago, is if you think about the game of Amazon, what's the real value, or what's the real skill set that you guys, or where do you add value? Where do you make your money? By finding profitable products and reselling. What you don't do is make money by doing logistics. You don't make money by doing prep, for example. You don't make money by doing your accounts. You don't make money by I don't know, IP complaints, dealing with them. They're problems, they're not opportunities, they're dealing with problems. So what you want to do, and I learned this very early on, is you just want to have very good people around you who solve these problems. So for example, you get a IP complaint, or you get a product inauthenticity complaint. Every time you get this, you literally just get the letter from Amazon and you give it to, we use Seller Basics. And they just literally deal with it and send it back to you. Fantastic. And that's what you copy and paste, and then it disappears. Same thing with accountants. Every time, like, I think I told you before, I have 3 accountants and 1 global tax advisor. So, and you might be like, that's excessive. It's a lot. I probably spend more on accountants than a lot of people making profits a month. But the reason why we do that is because learning all of that information and doing it myself is not valuable. My money is made in finding profitable products, selling them, and so therefore having good people who can just solve those problems, and I can literally just drop them questions and be like, hey, how do we do this, or what should we do better here? They will just do it for me. And yes, we pay more for it, but we pay for that expertise. Same thing with like prep. You just want someone doing good prep for you, and if you and when you don't have good prep services, you will probably know it, because it's like stock goes missing, shipments go wrong, and so the problem comes is now you're dealing with all these little problems. And just think about it, all your time is spent dealing with prep problems, IP complaints, accounting, tax questions. You should not be spending your time doing this. Your time should be spent doing sourcing profitable products, finding better deals, negotiating better deals, and getting them sold, because that's where you make money. The rest of it is just problems that are holding you back. So be really, really mindful of that. So I hope that makes sense. Jesse says, have a great trip, Tom. Thank you as always. Hey, Jesse, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Muhammad says, whenever I try to list on Amazon, a pop-up shows your account doesn't qualify. Have you faced this issue? Yeah, you got to get ungated, like really ungated. So this is really common. Like, by the way, if you're restricted, like that's really common. Recently, big ones: Nike, Adidas. A lot of sneakers in the US have been gated. So you've got to get yourself ungated. You just got to go through the ungating process. Mohammed says, do you prefer us to sell on Amazon Germany? No. Amazon Germany is bigger than UK, but it isn't like significantly bigger. Amazon Germany, I think it's like 1.2 times. Amazon Germany revenue. I don't know, 34 billion euros. And I think, so that was in, I don't know, Amazon UK revenue. I don't really know. 33 billion. Yeah, 24. So it's like 50. Germany's 50% bigger than the UK. But if you want to know, the US is 11 times bigger. So Germany is like 0.5 times bigger than the UK, and the US is 11 times bigger than the UK, which is like incredible. So absolutely love, like that's why we sell on Germany. So I'll just put it there. So do you prefer to sell on Amazon Germany? It's a good opportunity. Also, if you are looking at Amazon Germany, look at Happy Arbitrage. He's the guy who does Amazon Germany. It does it really well. It's like 1.5, I think it is. He does OA, so he knows about it all. And he did, I'm not going to say it here, but he told me like where he buys from and what works. And I think you'd be quite shocked if you ever found that out. So do connect with him if you are interested in Germany. There's a good opportunity in Europe. Like it's really, really good opportunity. But I think there's good opportunity everywhere. Again, if you're buying right. If you're buying badly, there's no opportunity to be made. Even if you're like the US is like the biggest, they're really affluent. They've got a lot of money to spend, and they do spend a lot of money. Things are expensive. So therefore, it's kind of like, what are the opportunities we can do? So just be mindful of that. But always looking for new opportunities, speaking to people, seeing what they're doing. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. So guys, drop your questions down below. One thing I will just add to you guys is if you enjoy these live calls and you like them, and you're like wanting to scale your business for, over the next 3 months, we've got a program on offer on this week right now within Fast Track FBA. Just go to fasttrackfba.com, and to summarize it very simply, you're going to get 3 months worth of live coaching with me. So every week we're going to have a live call, not like this. We're going to be on an actual group. You'll see your face. You'll see my face. I'll give you all the advice that I've learned. There's a lot of stuff I don't share publicly here. All the tips that are going to really help you out specifically to your problems. You're going to also get 2 weekly calls with my team. So if you're like struggling to analyze deals, maybe you want advice on sourcing, they will tell you that. They are sourcing all the time. They know where deals are, opportunities, and going to help you out of that as well. So you're going to get 3 live calls a week, 1 with me and 2 with my team every single week. And on top of that, we're going to give you 3 months worth of free online arbitrage leads with that as well. So that can either UK or USA. And check out fasttrackfba.com. You can literally just go straight through on the homepage. Check that out. Obviously, you can see more about it, but it is only live this week. It closes this weekend. So check it out. And obviously, we're giving, I think it's about $630 off the package price. So if you're looking at maybe taking your business to the next level, you want some more close, like one-to-one. It's not really one-to-one. It's going to be more group. But if you're going to be there and you want that feedback from me, like everyone who joins the calls are like, oh my God, I've learned so much. Join that. It's going to be a one-time payment. You get 3 months access to all of that. the leads, the access to me, the access to my team. We've got course programs on top of that as well. It's going to help you out. Check it out today, fasttrackfba.com. It's only available until the end of this week. So if anyone's watching like the replay, you've got until like Sunday the 19th. And then obviously you can get that as well. So I hope that makes sense. So Mohammed says, I started hunting in Germany. I find Zentrada for sourcing. Do you have any experience about? No, I don't. I don't know who they are. Who's Zentrada? Let's Google them. Zentrada. Who are they? Are they a company? Oh, smart wholesale buying. Sure. Check them out. If it works, fantastic. Just be mindful, like, if it's good. A lot of these websites, which seem like really, like these kind of websites, I really don't like. Why? Because they say they're wholesale and they're not. They're just like normal pricing. You can probably find it cheaper on the internet, like just sourcing. So I hope that makes sense. There's another one. I forgot what it's called. I even bought it when I first started. It was a complete waste of time. Got it. Cool. Zan said, I'm an accountant from London who also sells on Amazon. Cool. Looking forward to coming to London as well. Your accountants need to help you create processes, set up systems for your VAs to streamline the compliance side. Yeah, like, so to give you an idea, it's kind of a good question. I'd be like, we have really good systems and processes in our company. My VAs, they will do invoice collection. They will do all the zero kind of onto the accounts and the bank statements, the bank feed. They will match the invoices to it. They'll code it correctly. They'll prepare the VAT returns. They'll do even my personal tax returns. They'll do everything. They'll prepare the P&L balance sheet. They'll do a variance to Amazon versus our P&L. What else they'll do? They'll do all the kind of like, the stock chasing the inventory stuff, for example. And they'll basically just deal with the accountants in the first instance. And if you think about the accountants, our accountants will do bookkeeping and accountancy. So like filing of taxes, checking of taxes, compliance, which is great, but they wouldn't manually go into my emails and fetch the invoices, which is my VAs do. So we have all those processes set up. It works really, really well. And we used to, if you wanted to know, we used to do VAs for admin VAs, which did all this. But unfortunately, we stopped it because the demand was, it wasn't really there, and it's very, very costly and time consuming to do. So it wasn't a good business model. But I do agree, if you are going to build a business, you need to build processes and systems for, and you're using the word VAs, and again, it's just people, it's teams, whether in the Philippines or whether in the UK, they're just staff. That's how you build businesses. So to help do your compliance, streamline, and really what you're trying to do is to, in your business, you need to do the accounting and the compliance agreed, but you're trying to get rid of that. Like, you're trying to give that to someone else who can do that, who loves doing it. And then you focus on sourcing profitable products, wholesale, whatever you want to do. That's where you make the money. And by the way, when you give it to someone else, it's not like, oh, I should be doing it, I'm the boss. No, man, like, they love it. Like, my admin VAs are like literally they're like creating extra reports and doing like trend analysis and how we're looking. I'm like, where the hell did you come up with this? Like, oh, I just took a course. It's like, wow, it's amazing. So just be mindful, like, you're not giving people jobs that they don't like or like that are bad. You're giving things that they really want to do. And so therefore, as a company, you do a really good job. So I hope it makes sense. Right, final questions. And then Tom needs to drop off because he actually has to pack his bag and sort his life out. So Unri Aki, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hi, Tom. How do you check which items are VAT-free on Amazon? There is no on Amazon. You've got to be really careful. A lot of times I've seen Amazon is doing 0, 5, and I think it's 0, 5%. Yeah, and you get 20%. So a lot of time I've seen 0 and 5% wrong. For example, someone selling a 0% item with that. You're like, oh, stupid. So long story short, the way we've done it is A, go to HMRC, look at the guidance. B, understand what products are. And then C, generally when you're buying it, you'll find that the VAT is correct. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes I think like, why are you selling me coffee with that? Like, I think the supplier messed up. But I'd always ask the supplier the question. And if I was unsure, I would check with my accountants and then come back and to say, right, this is a coffee product and it should be 0% VAT. So therefore, we're going to set it on Amazon 0% VAT. But what you can't do, by the way, is you can't just take like, lip balm. Well, I'll just sell that for 20%, 0% VAT. Like it's got to be in compliance with the law, because if you ever get audited through your accounts and then obviously you haven't charged VAT on it, then the HMRC are just going to make you pay the VAT plus and or a fine. So be mindful. So again, this is why it's good to A, look at when you buy it, look at the VAT rate, and then B, if you think the VAT rate is wrong on purchase based on HMRC's guidance, check with your accountant, and then they'll let you know. And generally, I'm just going to go back to the supplier and say, hey, I think you should be charging VAT, or you shouldn't be charging VAT on this, and they'll probably correct it. So like, you're fine. So that's good. Khan says, looks like you got it sorted. I hope so. We spent a long time developing it. And why? Because I absolutely hate administration. We've even got an admin course that we teach people how to do it all on. So we sell that as well. So thank you so much. And by the way, it's always a changing place. And the reason why I look at that is my team are very good at just doing the processes, but they're not very good at keeping up to date, nor do I expect them to. So having accountants is they keep you compliant. So really good. And Dan, honestly, I hope you're doing well. Obviously with your accountancy in London. Absolutely love it. Deepak says, I want to get leather products from India and sell it on Amazon USA. For my research, I need to comply with ASTM, but for California prop info, do I need to test all that, or do I need to add prop? I have really no idea. You are way over my head. I would go speak to private label people, preferably in the fashion industry, because they are going to help you understand what compliance you have and also who needs to go. I just resell branded products like Lego. So sorry, I'm not that helpful. Deepak says, but I also read Rule Corporation 65 isn't applicable on companies less than 10 employees. Again, I really don't know. So I go speak to private label. Right. And on that note, Tom not being very helpful, I actually have to go pack my bag and sort my life out and then get to London. So I just want to say to all of you, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully I've given you some value today. If I have, hit the likes and thumbs up. I'll be back in about a month's time. So I want to go spend some time in England with the family and just kind of chill out for a bit. So I'll see you about in a month's time. But again, obviously, if you do want to join me, and I'm still doing it weekly in the Top Seller program, we have that offer on this week. I'll still be there every week in that. It's a private, call that I have with my community every week for those members. So we got an offer on just this week, $630 off. You're going to get 3 months access to me and my team, 3 calls a week, plus 3 months worth of online arbitrage leads, UK or USA for my team, just to help you scale up. So if you're struggling for time, wants to scale, and you want factual, actionable information from someone who's been there and have done it in both marketplaces, and you want profitable leads, check out the Fast Track FBA website today. There is an offer going on this week until this Sunday that you can get $630 off. I think you'll absolutely love it. So I will love you and leave you. And if anyone's going to be at the UK Systemized Summit, I will see you there as well. #excited. Stay safe, people. Bye.